Well, the town of Turtle Board reversed course 3 weeks after a 3-2 vote after it approved a cost reimbursement agreement tied to a potential data center. All 5 members rejected Panettone's revised version and started the process for a 12-month moratorium. Well, Miriam Niesmeyer was at Wednesday's meeting. And Miriam, what changed and what will the town do next?
Daniel, Panettone returned the agreement with new language. Chairman Roger Anklam says favored the developer. Tonight's special meeting ended that reimbursement plan, so town funds now cover the review. More than 100 people applauded a unanimous reversal as the town of Turtle Board rejected Panettone Development's revised cost reimbursement agreement tied to a potential data center.
We got a red line copy back from the developer. And I walked through that, and the provisions that they put in there, I did not like.
Anklam says the new version added a termination clause he believed favored the developer, named a different funding company, and changed how it handled town employee cost.
But I think the best measure in the best interest of the folks in this town is to turn that agreement down.
Anklam says without Panettone's reimbursement, taxpayers will cover the cost for professional studies for the development site.
As a taxpayer, if I need to pay more in order for my board to have the correct unbiased data, I'm willing to do that. I just want to keep our township beautiful like it is right now.
The board also approved a resolution starting the process for a 12-month moratorium on data center development.
It's a small sigh of relief.
The town must publish a 30-day notice and hold a public hearing before the board can pass the final moratorium ordinance.
This is by no means the end of the fight that we're in, because we're just going to make sure that they're doing their due diligence. Anklam says the town plans to begin reviewing its development rules right away. I did reach out to Panettone for comment, and we'll let you know when we hear back.